Good afternoon or good evening, and thank you for being here for our CSC English prep. Today we are going to be looking at persuasive writing. And if you're in fourth or fifth, chances are you would have begun this topic already. But of course, we want to perfect it. It's all about getting it as good as we can. Today, before we get into our writing, I want to go through some of the techniques. Even though you may know how to write a really good essay, remember I always say you have to write according to what CXC wants. So it's more than just being able to write an essay. You have to hit the points that CXC wants to see. After all, they are the ones marking your paper. Let's look at techniques. Now, understanding or writing a really good persuasive essay is all about using those techniques so the examiner can say, wow, okay, this candidate really understands how to persuade. The first and one of my favorite is rhetorical questions. It is one of my absolute go-tos because it doesn't require too much. So for example, if we are writing about should children be able to wear beads at school, and you can use a rhetorical question like, do you remember being a child and excited to have beads in your hair? It's a rhetorical question. And of course, that's a really trivial one, but it can go further than that. If we were looking at a more serious issue like violence or something, we can get very emotional with our rhetorical question. And we can say something like, have you ever been affected by gun violence? Or we can go even further. How do you think a mother feels as she stares at her son's lifeless body in the street? Dark, I know, but it does what it's supposed to do. So that is rhetorical questions. And in those last two rhetorical questions that I use the other technique also of emotive language. Let me discuss that a bit. Now, emotional appeals are a huge and vital part of being persuasive. It's a huge part. Think about when you see ads on TV and they're trying to sell certain things, they tend to use babies because people's hearts are softer. We have a different emotional outlook when we see babies, older people, and for some people, puppies. Puppies tends to be one of those things that it gives that, that type of emotive appeal as well. So use language that appeals to people's emotions. But what are those emotions? Number one, fear. Find a way in your writing to appeal to someone's fear. Today, we will be writing about social media and teens. So if you're appealing to the fear of a person as it relates to social media, maybe you might want to talk about something dark, but not too dark. Talk about something dark that may appeal to a person's fear. The other thing you appeal to in your emotional speech is the desire to seem intelligent. You want to boost people up, make them feel, boost their confidence and get them right where you want them, right? As it relates to writing, of course. And the fear or the need to protect, that's another way to use emotive language. Are your children safe? There are ads that go things like, do you know where your children are? It's time to get a phone tracker, stuff like that, okay? So emotional appeal. We spoke about rhetorical questions. And these, I want to see these in your writing. Repetition. Find keywords or phrases to repeat, okay? So if you're talking about beads in the hair, you can say beads for the summer, beads for the girls, beads for the trend, something that we see being repeated all the time, okay? So emotional appeal, rhetorical questions, repetition. Very importantly, we're at number 4, evidence and statistics. In the exam, you are not going to be able to Google anything and search for statistics. However, you can say researchers say, research has shown, even if it is a little general, okay? But where possible, use evidence. So words like researchers, words like experts, words like educators, those type of words, it comes over like you have done your research. And I mean this in the best way. In the CSC English exam, it is okay to tell a white lie. White though. What I mean by that is we know that you are not researching anything in the middle of the exam. We know that. And you don't know what topic you are getting. So when you say research has shown, we know that you did not just Google that. But try to make it believable. Do not say something like research has shown that alcohol is great for babies, right? So try to make it believable. And the last part I want to bring home is inclusive and exclusive language. What is inclusive language? We, us, everyone, the community. And when you do that, that is actually a form of emotional appeal because it makes your writer feel like you are one of them. Or she wants the best for us all. She's part of our family. That type of thing. Exclusive language is the opposite. You set a barrier between yourself, like, no, they encourage violence. They encourage, so inclusivity, bringing everybody, make us feel like family. Exclusive language, set a barrier, make it seem like, no, we don't do that over here. So I'm just going to run through those 5 things again. Emotional appeals, use emotional language. Rhetorical questions, ask questions to make your readers think. Repetition, evidence and statistics, a little white lie, nothing crazy. And the last one, inclusive and exclusive language where necessary. Let's start to write.